Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club. I want to do a special edition today. It's Thursday, it's Holy Thursday for the Eastern Orthodox who are celebrating Easter this time of year. And it's a wonderful day weather-wise. It's autumn here in Sydney, and we are being, made available, and we are being part of this beautiful weather at the moment. It's sunny, it's just gently blowing a breeze from the, southwest is the best I can describe it, and it's a wonderful time of year. Today's edition of or episode of Jim's 5am Club is a discussion on my Greek Orthodox Odyssey. And just to fill you in, as of last night, I have ceased eating, and I'll be just on a strict water diet through to Resurrection Sunday. So it's 80 hours of just water, and it's something that I've been doing over the past, 4 or 5 years, so I'm pretty good at it now. And just to remind everybody, I did a similar sort of water fast at the beginning of Lent. So from Clean Monday through to Wednesday evening at sundown, I just had water only for 3 days. And then I had a very small meal on Wednesday evening of nuts and fruit, unprocessed food, xerofhagia as the Greeks call it. And then I went 2 more days of just water only, and then followed by some nuts and fruit on the Friday evening. And I've been doing that for a number of years, and it's the sort of fasting that happens, in the monasteries, and it's something that I have incorporated into my annual, ritual, my annual preparation for Easter, and it helps me focus and to get the most out of this wonderful time of year. So how do I do it? How do I get through it? How can I work 10 hours a day on my feet and fast for 80 hours by just having water? I guess initially it was a mental sort of challenge. It was tough to get over it mentally. But having experienced it for a number of years now, I'm well attuned to what I can do and what I can't do. So I'm pretty good at this now. I know what's in store for me. But the beautiful lesson that I learnt, and the lesson I want to pass on to everybody else, is that, as I said, this is a mental challenge, but it brings out the best in me, because it suits my personality type. I have a mild form of OCD, which enables me to express and to lovingly express at the end of the day. So what do we do? So last night, as I said, I had my last meal at about 5 o'clock. I had some rice, I had some asparagus, and I had an apple, and that's about it. So since then I've had just water. And what I find is the first day is the most challenging by far. And it's all counterintuitive. So the first day is a bit tough because you start to feel a bit listless come the afternoon. And tonight I've got a 4-hour church service. It's Holy Thursday, so I'll be going to church there at Parramatta. And what I find is that the first day is really, really tough. The second day gets a little bit easier. Believe it or not, the second day is easier than the first day. And the third day, what happens is my body is feasting on ketones because it's in ketosis. So what happens is over the first couple of days, my body looks for sugars, looks for energy, and it finds that energy in my muscles, where I've got glycogen, all the glycogen stores that have been built up with all the carbohydrates I've been eating throughout Lent. And once those glycogen stores are fully used up and there's no more energy left in my muscles, what happens is my body switches to ketosis, and it starts feasting on the ketones in my bloods, which are basically breaking down the fat stores that are stored throughout my body. But what happens is once you get into ketosis, you feel energetic, you feel alive. Your body may be weak, but your mind, your brain is very, very alert, and you feel fully energized and very, very restless in a good way, should I suggest. So I just wanted to share that experience with you because not very many people do what I do. Let's admit it. The things that I do are fairly extreme in today's definition of following one's faith. But what I did do for myself and for other people is I was able to prove to myself that it is possible to work long hours and be on your feet all day and to be able to fast. Because a lot of people say, well, look, I work and this, that and the other and I can't fast because I feel weak and blah, blah, blah. But I've been able to prove to myself that it is possible and we can do it. And in the past years, I've been able to exercise during this water-only fast as well. So I've been able to do a couple of opposite classes and of course work all day. So I've been able to follow my faith and also live just like everybody else without any consequence and without any missing of a beat. I've been able to fulfill my job to 100% of the requirements, so that I'm not letting my employer down, I'm not letting my peers down, but I'm also able to fulfill my faith and to live my faith and to just to enjoy this time of year, expressing and living the full spectrum of what is available to the Greek Orthodox Christians in their faith, by fasting, by going to the number of church services throughout the week, by prayer, by reading. And I'm also continuing my 5 a.m. club, just to show you that mentally, physically, there is no difference to the James Paniaris that is when he's not fasting to what it is when he is fasting. So it's all in the mind, and it's all something that people seem to not understand. Years ago, when Archbishop Stylianos was alive, I remember it was about 21 years ago. I was at my grandfather's memorial service, and it was around about Easter time of year, just before Lent started. And I remember the Archbishop Stylianos saying and encouraging each and every one of us, saying that fasting and is part of our lifestyle and part of our Easter and part of our belief system. And he said that if you can fast, you must. So it was a very, very simple message, but it resonated really deeply with me. And I guess from my perspective, my mother passed away the following year, so I lost 2 generations within 12 months. My grandfather passed away, but he was in his 80s, and we're expecting him, just like we expect all people once they get to a certain age, to be in the last or in the twilight of their lives. But my mother was only 63 when she passed away. She left the world far too early. But ever since then, ever since 1999, I've been following as best I can the Greek Orthodox Lent and fasting for Easter. And it's been, as I say, 21 years now, coming on 22 years actually. And it's something which I look forward to and I appreciate, and it's something that I recommend to the young people to incorporate into their annual calendar, because at the end of the day you need to ask yourself, how many Easters am I going to get to celebrate in my lifetime? And given that it comes around once a year, there's not all that many. So as many birthdays is the number of Easters that we could also probably celebrate. So that's about it. That's a little bit more about how I tick, and a little bit more in terms of the faith, the Christian faith that I follow. And we all need to understand that all Christians at some point in time during the early church would fast. It would be part of their annual expression of their faith. And it's only over the past, I guess, decade or two, the past generation or two, that we Greek Orthodox Christians have started to lose our way. And just like other Christian denominations who broke away much earlier from the original church, have also tended to lose their way, and fasting is no longer an important or an integral part of their following or practicing their faith. So I thought I'd share that with you. But there are some bright spots in the world. I work with a girl who's Irish, and her mother is Roman Catholic, and she told me that her mother fasts throughout the year. She actually does the Wednesday, Friday fast, which surprised me. And all she has on those days is black tea. So it just goes to show there are people around us who are fasting that you don't really expect to fast. My Muslim friends at the moment are currently fasting for Ramadan. It's a different style of fast to the Christian fast, but once again, it's an example of how other faiths have incorporated fasting into their daily rituals. But what really impresses me about the Muslims is that they take it seriously, and they encourage each other, and they expect each other to follow the fasts. So you don't get them posting on Facebook and not fasting, I guess, throughout the day, but they do get to feast every evening. Anyway, for those who can, as Archbishop Stylianos said, try and give it a go. Try it once, and you can incorporate it into your life. And it's a thing that you do to bring the whole Easter into perspective, and to bring Resurrection Sunday to a climax. So thank you very much for joining me. We'll chat again from Jim's 5am Club, and more importantly, this special episode on Holy Thursday, where we talk about our Greek Orthodox Odyssey. Yassas, take care, and we'll chat again. Bye for now. Philakia from Jim, and we'll chat again. Yassas. Και καλή δύναμη to those who are fasting.